Welcome to Paris 47. The show is just about to start. This is the red carpet event of the season, and the guest list is a veritable who's who of the global fashion elite. You will find Viktor Novikov basking in the spotlight, while Dalia Margolis hosts the heavily guarded auction on the second floor for a group of Iago's top customers. Now, event security will keep a watchful eye on any suspicious activity, but I trust your timeless look shall fit right in. Good luck, 47.
Let's take it from the top again.
Whatever. I'm standing outside today.
What's this? Listen, you're not walking through here. Sorry, no clowns allowed.
HITMAN. That is, Hitman in big, capital letters, was released in 2016 as another sequel in the long-running Hitman franchise. It was released in an episodic format, with 6 episodes or missions, or levels or maps, or whatever you wish to call them, 1 tutorial level, and some downloadable content. In 2018, Hitman 2 was released as its own game, but which can include the episodes from the 2016 release, if you already have them, or if you buy them as downloadable content. It might sound a little complicated, but stay with me, I'm almost done. Basically, you can play Hitman 2016 inside Hitman 2 from 2018, which brings us to a total of 12 episodes, forming the main storyline, plus the various missions and bonuses in downloadable content. I say this because this video will treat Hitman 2 from 2018 and Hitman from 2016 as essentially one game, because the differences are minor, and you can play the 2016 version inside the 2018 version anyway. Now that you are properly confused, let's talk about what Hitman, in big capital letters, does well. And since we are on the subject of episodic content, let's begin with that. The episodes, or levels, in Hitman are meant to be replayable. In other words, you play them over and over, and over and over and over and over, until you either run out of things to do, or you get bored, whichever comes first. Now, the beauty of Hitman is that in this equation, you're more likely to first run out of content. The developers have done this in a few different ways. First of all, the levels themselves are extremely detailed, and there's a great variety in location. You could just about roleplay as a tourist, if you felt like it. And you won't hear me say this very often, because these days, just about every game is graphically impressive. But how many games entice you to stop and admire a random vase, or the architecture of a mansion, which you can explore completely both outside and inside? Or how about a part of a whole suburb? The next thing it does to keep you engaged is by giving so many of the NPCs, or non-player characters, personalities. This is also where the somewhat wacky humour of Hitman shines through. You're very unlikely to catch every NPC interaction, even after 5 playthroughs of the same level. There's always something interesting going on around you as you make your way through a level. The Hitman protagonist that you play as, named 47, is also a fascinating character. And the various interactions between him and the world are also something you'll be constantly searching for. What makes 47 such a fascinating character is that you're never quite certain exactly what is going on in his head. His reactions are often a surprise, and hunting them down becomes a sort of sport that will also keep you invested for a long, long time. 47 is part hitman and part detective, and uncovering the hidden mysteries inside each level is yet another thing that will keep you playing and exploring. All the dialogue, the mysteries, the character of 47, interaction with the assassination targets, and the interactions between NPCs, and the depth and thought put into each character in the game, and other elements such as unlocking new equipment, challenges, and Easter eggs. All this gives rise to an incredible amount of things to do and see each time you play through an episode. Another thing worth mentioning is the way Hitman weaves the background story into the episodes, without sacrificing the replayability of the levels. This is done really, really well. The storyline is there, and it can be interesting in its own right. The cutscene animations are particularly high quality and can be watched over and over, but still, it's a bonus, not a necessity. It acts more like glue to keep the episodes together, but the episodes themselves are still separate, replayable entities that can stand fully on their own merits. Now, as we come to the end of the video, which is a bit longer than usual, let's finish with what kind of player this game is actually for. You see, while Hitman certainly has action and plenty of guns, it's actually, ultimately, at its core, a puzzle game, with some stealth elements. So the player that it's for is a somewhat more thoughtful player, someone that enjoys exploration and discovery, someone that might enjoy looking for secrets, or doing speedruns, observing interesting characters, and getting involved in the background events and storyline. So unless you're doing a speedrun, it's a somewhat more slower paced game, which these days seems like a rare breed indeed. The game can also be as serious, or as comedic as you want it to be. You can take everything very seriously, and skillfully dispatch your targets in the most ingenious ways you can think of. Or you can just mess around. It's really up to you, and you can switch between the two playstyles at your leisure. So if you enjoy a more thoughtful experience with action elements, then I cannot recommend Hitman enough, and you can potentially sink hundreds of hours into it.
So, are you gonna tell me about what Victor did?